Thank you so much. First of all, thank you for coming out in this heavy rain to the event. The last time I saw so many people coming out in this heavy rain was in the movie Lagan at the end of it. So thank you so much. You're all our Bhuvans who dared this rain to come out. So can I have the presentation on screen? Right. So a very warm good afternoon to the members of the Executive Committee of IDSA, friends from the media, representatives of IDSA member companies attending the event, and of course to all the direct sellers present here today. On behalf of Indian Direct Selling Association, I welcome you all and express my gratitude to all the attendees of the West Bengal Direct Selling Shobha 2021 for taking out time and blessing us with your presence. Now, the state of West Bengal is indeed special for the direct selling industry in India. True to the spirit of Egiye Bengal, which is our tagline for the event as well, the state is continuously rising up the ranks and is soon likely to become the top direct selling market in India. So let's give a big round of applause to that. So in a few minutes from now, I'll be making a detailed representation of various aspects of the direct selling business in India, along with giving key highlights of how the industry is performing globally and of course in India and in the state of West Bengal. Now at this point of time, it becomes essential to highlight the role played by the Department of Consumer Affairs, Government of West Bengal, towards ensuring the protection of the industry as well as protection of the rights of the consumers in the state of West Bengal. Now West Bengal is one of the few states in India that have a separate dedicated Department of Consumer Affairs. Normally what happens with other states is they mix consumer affairs function with the food and civil supplies, which is not like this in West Bengal. West Bengal has a dedicated department solely for consumer affairs. So that really helps the industry to, represent its concerns, represents all the key issues with the relevant government officials and get a prompt hearing. The direct selling industry is India currently passing through a crucial phase. I'm sure all of you are aware that the government of India has already published the draft of direct selling rules, which we as an industry body are quite hopeful that will be getting notified in the next 90 days period of time, or maybe let's say safely within this financial year. And that is really going to set the pace forward for the industry. The state of West Bengal has already notified the direct selling guidelines based on the model framework which was issued by the Government of India in October 2016, and that has really helped the industry to perform in the state. So with the permission of the dignitaries present on the dais, I would like to make a small presentation. So can we move on to the next slide? Yeah, the next slide, please. Thank you. Okay, so you all have heard about what IDSA is and what World Federation of Direct Selling is all about. But I'm sure you'll have a lot of questions what IDSA is doing or what the World Federation is doing. So just to answer all these queries once and for all, so IDSA is a member of the World Federation of Direct Selling Associations, which is based out of Washington, DC, USA. Now, World Federation was founded in the year 1978. IDSA, on the other hand, got founded in the year 1996. So many of you may recall that the year 96 was the year in which direct selling industry started actually in India. So IDSA is as old as direct selling industry in India. Like IDSA is there from India. So World Federation has membership from over 62 direct selling associations from around the world. So by virtue of IDSA's membership with or association with the World Federation, IDSA gets access to a vast knowledge pool or knowledge sharing from around the world. And that's how we are able to educate the government and the departments here on what's happening on the direct selling front and what can be introduced in India. At present, IDSA has got 18 member companies, but yes, these 18 member companies, I'm proud to say, are the top 18 companies in India, and they constitute more than 50% of the overall Indian direct selling turnover. So it's a big thing. Of over 600 companies, these 18 companies alone, they make up 50% of the overall Indian direct selling industry. So that deserves a big applause. Yeah, moving on. Now, what direct selling concept is, because we have got friends from media also, they would also probably want to understand what direct selling is, or many people, they have been approached by direct selling consultants, but they still have the a confusion. What exactly is direct selling? So moving on. So this is how a traditional supply chain, a retail supply chain works. You have manufacturer and consumer at the other end. So the product from manufacturer, for a product to move from manufacturer to consumer, it has to pass through various intermediaries, distributor, wholesaler, and then retailer. And of course, at every stage, some markup is added to the cost of the product. This is how retail industry works everywhere. Now, what direct selling does is something different. Direct selling removes all these intermediaries and they replace them with direct sellers, people like you, thereby bringing manufacturer and consumer closer to each other. That's why direct selling companies are able to procure, supply products to consumers at very, I would say, justifiable rates, considering the benefits of the products. And this is how the direct selling industry evolved. Now, let's just see how the direct selling industry evolved around the world. So 1886 was the year in which first direct selling company, Avon, was established in United States of America. By 1925, the overall annual direct selling sales in US was to the tune of 300 to 500 million. Again, the industry was primarily limited to the United States of America. So this entire turnover was coming from one country alone. By 1960s, new kind of products, new kind of companies, new kind of compensation plans started to come up. Earlier, the products were largely into cosmetics, books, and other things. But by 1970s, many new kind of product categories got introduced. 1996, as I mentioned in the beginning, was the year in which direct selling came to India. Companies like Avon, Amway, Modicare, Oriflame, Herbalife, they started their operations in India. And 2017 is the year in which the direct selling industry in India crossed the turnover of 10,000 crores. A year before that, in 2016, direct selling guidelines had been notified. So this is how direct selling has evolved globally and of course India. Moving on, just look at some of the data or the key facts related to the global direct selling industry. So I'm sharing with you the data for the last 4 years, 2017 to 2020. So this is how the direct selling industry has performed globally. So if you look at the chart in front of you, in 2017, the retail size of the industry was valued at 180 billion US dollars, and which basically increased to rather minor decrease, 179.3 billion US dollars in 2020. Now, this slight drop from 2018 onwards that you can see is largely because there were some regulatory challenges in China. Now, China is a very big market for us. It's currently placed at number 2 after USA. So whenever there is an issue with big countries like US or China, so overall the industry turnover, the gross turnover has taken some hit. If you remove the results of China, the data which is there at the bottom of the chart, so industry is able to register a continuous growth across the world. It's just because of some challenges in China that overall numbers have come down. If you remove China, the industry has in fact grown. So moving on, let's just see which continents are contributing the most to global direct selling numbers. So Asian region contributes nearly 43% of the overall direct selling sales around worldwide, followed by the European region, 20%, followed by the Americas, that is North America and South America, nearly 36%. And Africa and Middle East is a small market, but yes, it's growing very fast. At this moment, Africa and Middle East contribute nearly 1% of the overall direct selling sales. Now, which product categories are the most preferred when it comes to direct selling, channel of sales? So moving on, wellness continues to be the top selling category. Nearly 36.2% of the global sales comes from wellness segment alone. Cosmetics forms the number 2 category globally. 26% of the sales comes from cosmetics. Household goods, 14%. And then, of course, other small. Moving on to the number of direct sellers globally. So globally, there are over 125.4 million direct sellers, active direct sellers that are working with direct selling companies. Now, out of these 125.4, nearly 74% are women and 26% of them are men. So direct selling industry globally is recognized as one source, which women like to prefer to have some sort of supplemental income from their family. And this is getting reflected in the numbers as well. Moving on to the next slide. Let's see which age group, is contributing the most when it comes to the number of direct sellers working with the industry. So as you can see from the chart in front of you, people are coming in from virtually every age group to be a part of the direct selling industry. Of course, 35 to 44, the age group constitutes nearly 26%, and 45 to 54, nearly 25%. So between age groups of 35 to 54, nearly 50% of the direct sellers, they come from this age group globally. Then you have people, aged above 55. They form up nearly 23% of the global direct sellers. So the point that we are trying to make is that virtually from every age group, people are preferring or get associated with the industry to earn, another supplemental income or an extra source of income for their family. Moving on quickly to the Indian direct selling industry's performance for the year 2019-20, for which we have just released the annual survey report. So I'm sharing with you the data for the last 4 years, from the financial year 2016-17 to financial year 2019-20. So from 10,324 crores, the industry has moved on to 16,776 crores. In terms of compounded annual growth rate, this translates to a CAGR of 18%, which is way ahead compared to the CAGR of, let's say, traditional retail industry. So direct selling is performing very well, and with the notification of rules, we are quite confident that this CAGR will definitely cross the magical figure of 20%, and then definitely the industry has a bright future for every one of us. Now, which product categories are most sellable in India? So pretty much like the global scenario, wellness tops the chart in India as well. 57% of the sales comes from wellness segment alone, followed by cosmetics, 22%, household goods, 8%, food and beverages, 5%, home care and other categories. So if you look at wellness and cosmetics, so these two categories alone, they form up nearly 80% of the Indian direct selling industry's business. So clearly these two product categories are performing well, and almost I think every direct selling company has wellness or cosmetics range. And if they don't have, they are planning to introduce soon. Okay, moving on. Now let's just see how India is placed globally. So I'm sharing with you first the data for the year 2019. So as you can see, in 2019, India was, this is the retail size of the industry. So India was ranked at number 15th. The retail size was valued at 2.48 billion US dollars. The next year, 2020, you can see some of the changes happened. Canada, India moved up, Russia entered, UK moved out of the list. So India moved up by 3 places to be at the rank 12th. And now the industry is currently valued at 3.02 billion US dollars. So since last few years, last 3-4 years, India is making the highest increments in terms of moving up the ranks. A year before, India was at rank 19th. So in 2019, India moved up by 4 places to be at rank 15th, which was the highest jump by any country. Very next year, India moved up by 3 places, which is again the highest jump by any country. The CAGR, the year-on-year growth is highest among the top 20 direct selling countries around the world. So definitely, we are quite hopeful that with the publication notification of rules, the positioning of India in the next, let's say, 4-5 years, we are going to be there in the top 6 or top 5 countries. So we are very hopeful about that. Moving on, let's just see which region is contributing the most to direct selling sales in India. So North region, it contributes nearly 28% of the direct selling sales in India. And you have the Northeast India, they are contributing 10%, Eastern India 26%, Western India 23%, and Southern India 13%. Now, which are the top 5 direct selling states? Number 5th is Odisha. Odisha has a share of 5%, Bihar 7%, Uttar Pradesh 9%, West Bengal 11%, and Maharashtra 12%. But let me tell you, West Bengal is very close to beating Maharashtra. And I think if the industry keeps on performing the way it is performing right now, in the next 2-3 years, West Bengal is going to be the number 1 state in India for direct selling. Yeah, in the next 1 or 2 years. Okay. So now you may remember that I shared with you the number of men and women globally. Now in India, we are seeing kind of a role reversal here. So in the last 3 years, what we have seen, there's a constant shift in the percentages of men and women working with the industry in India. Now, for 25 years, women absolutely dominated the industry in India, but this is not so anymore. Finally, men have gone ahead. Men are now 51% of the overall direct sellers in India, and women are 49%. Right, so this is a kind of reversal from the global trend, but yes, it's a healthy sign for the industry. More and more people are now considering joining the industry as the main source of income for their family, which is, of course, a very good thing. Now, what age groups are, these direct sellers in India coming from? Pretty much like the global, data. 18 to 24, the age group constitutes nearly 15%, 25 to 34, 35%, and 35 to 54, 29%. So between age groups of 25 to 45, you can see that almost 50%, more than 50% of the direct sellers are coming from this age group alone. But yes, more than 55 and above, 4% of direct sellers belong to this age group as well. Now, as part of the survey report, we tried to determine, we did a satisfaction survey of all the direct sellers. I mean, what we considered was a feasible size representation of the whole picture. So we're trying to find out why our direct sellers are joining the industry. So a variety of reasons were quoted to us. Of course, earning an extra income remains the top, 45%. Self-employment opportunity that the industry provides them, 20%. 20% of the direct sellers have actually joined the industry because they feel that it gives them a chance to socialize with people, make new friends. So this is another interesting reason. 6% said the flexible working hours that the industry offers them. And of course, 4% others, low cost, 3%. And 2% said because there was an impact on their other source of livelihood. Moving on. So we tried to find in terms of from a rating of 1 to 5, how our direct sellers have actually rated the industry or the company that they are associated with. So we try to find the feedback on 5 key criteria: product portfolio and response from customer, product pricing, compensation plan, training program. So as you can see, we have been given good ranks, 4.7 in terms of out of 5 in product quality, 4.6 out of 5 in product portfolio, product pricing 4.2, compensation plan 4.5, and this is our training program again 4.5. So overall, out of 5, the industry has been given a score of 4.6 by our direct sellers, by people like you. So thank you so much for exhibiting your faith in the industry, for exhibiting the faith in the companies that you are associated with. Moving on, what are the 3 key benefits that our direct sellers? We ask them, don't give us n number of benefits, just give us 3 key benefits that you feel that you have been able to get after joining the industry. So 45% said skill development. So clearly direct selling companies are focusing on skill development. They are giving our direct sellers trainings, necessary orientations, trainings to enhance their skills. So a whooping 45% said that after joining the industry, they are able to develop some sort of skill, or they are able to enhance their existing skills. So which is very commendable for all the companies working so diligently towards this. 43% said the financial support, which has been the industry or the company has offered to them. And 12% said that they are able to increase their social circle after joining the industry. So this is again a very good, commendable thing for all the entities. It shows that the events that they are organizing or the conferences they are organizing are yielding results, and direct sellers are appreciating that. In terms of perceived trustworthiness of the industry, so out of 10, we asked the male consumers to give us rating. So male consumers gave us a rating of 7.16, and female consumers, they gave us a rating of 7.72. So clearly female are more confident about the direct selling industry. Moving on, direct selling industry in West Bengal, how the industry has performed here. So direct selling industry has crossed the turnover of 1800 crores in West Bengal. The industry is currently sized at 1868.9 crores in West Bengal. I mentioned in the beginning, in West Bengal is the number 2 state in India. The West Bengal has a share of 11.14% in the overall Indian direct selling sales. Now Maharashtra is slightly ahead. I think Maharashtra is 12.1 something. So that's why we are saying West Bengal is pretty close to overcoming Maharashtra in the coming years. Now, in the eastern region, West Bengal forms up nearly 42% of the entire eastern region sales. So, which is a very big thing. Coming from a single state, the entire 42% of the sale of the entire region is, of course, a very big thing. Over 4.9 lakh active direct sellers are working with different entities in the state. Now, these are active direct sellers who are devoting more than 30 hours per week to the business. So clearly, and out of these 4.9 lakh, more than I think 2.5 lakh are women direct sellers. So this is again very commendable. I think it deserves another round of applause for the performance of the industry. So with this, thank you so much for again, braving yourself in this rain and coming.